Mark Holmes here. It's June 10th, and it's a small, intimate call here. We're just kind of, this is kind of a connect call with our team. We've got Stephanie Macula on the line here, and Dr. Becky, and a few of our other partners here. Stephanie, I'm just going to jump right into this. I know we've got limited time here, so Stephanie, it's great to work with you. You're doing some great things out there in Salt Lake, and it's exciting what's going on here. I know you kind of caught the fever here, so. But anyway, I'm just going to hand it over to you, and you can do the introduction with Dr. Becky and get things rolling.
Okay, that sounds good. Thanks for coming, everyone. So I am so happy to introduce Dr. Becky Maes, and it's been so fun working with Mark. He's a great guy, very very patient with me, and answers a lot of questions when I have them. So it's been a great asset, and he'll do that for any one of us. A little background on Becky. She, along with her husband Dan, are 7-figure earners in this industry, which is cool. They have helped tens of thousands of people. Tonight she just happens to be talking to us, which I'm very happy about. She's a gastroenterologist and has practiced for over 12 years. And she's the real deal, and I've met her in person, and she's very sweet, not only smart, but very nice. She's also a major part of FG Express as well. You've probably seen her on some of the videos I've sent to you guys. She talks about the power strips and the solar strips, which she'll expand on a little bit tonight. Anyway, Dr. Becky, I would love it if you would share your story briefly with us and why you chose to be a part of this company, a little bit about your background and about the product and all that good stuff, and thanks so much for being with us.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks for having me. Well, like you said, my background is that of gastroenterology, and I did practice for 13 years in Tucson, but I got into the industry of network marketing 14 years ago. And so when I retired from my medical practice, I've been full-time in network marketing now for 8 years. Oops, sorry about that. We just jumped in the car. So I'm sorry. We're just trying to start the car, and it's not starting.
Oh, no.
We can take your car. Oh, there you go. Okay, now we got the car started. Yay. So, but, I've only been with 2 companies. And last company I was with, Danny and I had tremendous success with them. It's a company called Isogenics, and we were with them for 8 years. And, we just decided to sell our businesses from that company. There was a lot of reasons at a corporate level that just didn't really gel with us from an ethical and moral standpoint. So we ended up, walking away from that company, selling our top 3 businesses, and basically just started looking, just like went to town looking for another company that we could call home, a company that had ethics and morals and a global vision, great products, financial backing, the whole thing. And the number one thing that led us to FG Express is we met the executive team way back in August of last year. And the parent company is Forever Green International. They've been around for 10 years, and they had a decent comp plan, and they have really great products, a lot of the whole food products, raw foods, essential oils. They have products for weight release. They have a lot of marine phytoplankton products that are really good for just general health and to replenish the body, really rejuvenate the body. But about 13 months ago is when the light really shined on this company, and that's when a Dr. Min-Soo Kim from South Korea sent Ron Williams, our CEO, he sent him the power strips. And Ron didn't even know what to make of these things because they just look like a piece of paper and they don't look like they would do much. But the big thing here is this is all about energy healing. And so Ron had very, very severe back pain, and he was an athlete for many years. He broke his back. He was just a mess. He wasn't able to do any athletics. And when the power strip showed up, he didn't even try it for a while. But when he did, within 24 hours, he had just life-changing results. So he got in touch with Dr. Kim, and he says, tell me about this stuff. Like, why is this working? And he was starting to sample people, and people were getting really good results. And, Dr. Kim just explained to him the quantum aspect of the technology and infusing energy into these strips, allowing them to deliver heat and energy to the body and create a frequency of far infrared healing. And it's really fascinating when you look at the technology behind it, because there's basically 5 features of the strip. You have, the outer portion of the strip has love written in all those languages. So a lot of people call them love strips, which I think is a great name for them. And that outer layer is a mineral, just a germanium reflectant mineral. It doesn't touch the skin, but it's on the outer side of the strip. So when your body starts to produce heat, this will actually push the heat back in. And when it does that, it creates that frequency of infrared, so far infrared heat and energy going deep, deep into the body. So if you do a scan after you put one of these strips on, you'll see the red color, which represents the heat that goes through the tissues, through the muscles, ligaments, tendons, down to the nerve endings, down to the bone. So people that use these over the area of pain, or they just want to use them for detox on their lower back or lower abdomen, will get results sometimes very quickly, sometimes incredibly dramatically. And we can't say we're a transdermal device, but, anything you put on the skin is topically there and can be absorbed. And what he did is he put in a proprietary blend of 3 main ingredients, and one being the marine phytoplankton, which is little microscopic plants out of the ocean. And then he did some red fermented Korean ginseng and some silver. And so this proprietary blend carries all of that energy that's also being delivered when that germanium reflects heat back into the body. And one of the big reasons I'm here is when I look at this technology and we can address or even eliminate pain in people that suffer, that have a terrible quality of life. When I was in practice, I didn't have anything natural to give people that were in pain. So these, my patients were on narcotics, and I didn't write for a lot of narcotics, but a lot of my peers did. And you just saw the side effects. You saw the addiction. You'd see overdoses. You'd have people that their guts just didn't function because a lot of these opiates would make them really constipated, make them nauseous, make them vomit, distension. And then the anti-inflammatories that we used, that a lot of my pain specialist friends would prescribe, they cause terrible liver disease and kidney disease and a lot of GI bleeding. So I fell in love with the executive team. I really loved the foundation of Forever Green International being around for 10 years, and then having a new arm of the company that just has the one product, the Power Strip. And when the FDA looked at it about 6 months into when Ron was using the strips, they came back immediately and said, you guys have a medical device. And he didn't even know if that was good or bad. He just said, well, tell me what that means. They said, well, you have a medical device that allows you to say to people and on stage and on your website that it's an all-natural product that helps to address or eliminate pain. And that's really big because in our last company, Isogenics, you could not say the word pain relief. And there's a company called Trivita that we were there very temporarily that had infomercials on a product called Nopalea. And they would say on their infomercials that they eliminated pain. Well, the government came down and shut them all down. There's no more infomercials that they can say that. So we, as a company, have this category creator of the medical device and of being all natural and is following the realm of energetic healing. To me, is where all healing is headed. So if you look at just from an opportunity standpoint, this is a $700 billion industry of pain management, driven by the $1 trillion industry of the pharmaceutical companies that just basically poison people. So you can go out there and just share the strips, just share the love, establish relationships, rekindle relationships, find out who's suffering, and have them use the strips. And the base of the strip's a plant-based matrix. There's no latex. There's no chemicals, no preservatives. So you can be really comfortable with people that say, I have sensitive skin or I'm sensitive to latex. They're not going to have any problems with this. So over time, it was interesting. A lot of people started to use the strips all over their bodies to address their pain. But what was happening is because of the topical aspect of the strip, it helps to improve the appearance, look, and feel of skin. So I tell everyone, if you know people that have psoriasis, eczema, they're dealing with warts, they get intermittent cold sores, history of shingles, cellulite, varicose veins, acne, wrinkles, they can take these strips and apply it topically over the skin. And it's amazing because it doesn't take long for the skin to really react positively to the strip. So now we have a pain classification, and now we're going after a lot of cosmetic issues, which is a $1 trillion industry when we talk about skin and treatment of skin. So there you can see why the opportunity is so big. And because the strips are so little, you can mail them to 190 countries around the world, for $5.95. And that's opened up a whole global opportunity for a lot of people. Because I always said the world was my waiting room when I left medicine. However, in our last company, Isogenics, we only had Canada and U.S. in our downline. That's all we had. We only had 2 countries. And now it's going nuts. I mean, there's some people that start and within 4 or 5 months have 50, 60 different countries in their downline because it's just such a global opportunity and people have pain all around the world. So hopefully that gives you a good overview of why I was impressed with the company. So the timing's perfect. Their product is so wonderful. compensation structure is just out of this world. It blows out anything I've ever seen. It's something called a binary hybrid. Easy to do. It's easy to share. It's easy to follow up with people. It's easy to show them how to get it. And then if you duplicate that down, you can grow a really fast-growing team. And that's what we're seeing with a lot of big networkers coming on board, or even people that never even did network marketing that are seeing great results. And so hopefully that gives you, a nice little overview. If you have some specific questions, I have a couple more minutes before we have to head into dinner, and I would love to address anything that you have.
Awesome. Thank you. Anybody?
I'm good.
Who is that, Sarah?
Yeah.
I'm good.
A great rundown. Thank you so much.
I think Dr. Becky, I think you did a really good job. There's no here, so.
Let me make mention of one other thing before I hop into dinner here. We have a new product, and it's called a solar strip. And you get into the back office of SG Express, and you'll see this ability to order these solar strips. This is a wonderful product as well. Now, it's not addressing pain, but what it's doing is it's nutritionally replenishing your body and helping your body to maintain detoxification. And it's the marine phytoplankton, those little microscopic plants that we get from Nanaimo, Canada. And there's billions and billions of these microscopic plants up at this aquatic sea farm in Canada. And when they harvest these blooms of the phytoplankton, they take the little protectant silica shell off of it, so it becomes bioavailable. So then they test it for radioactivity, they test it for heavy metals, for any kind of contaminant, and once they know it's absolutely pure, they create this little solar strip. And these are little tiny breath strips. That's exactly what they look like, little Listerine breath strips. And when you put them on the tongue, they'll dissolve immediately. And you can put it under the tongue, and it'll just shoot all these nutrients into your vascular system. And so if you look at the nutrient density of phytoplankton, you'll be so incredibly impressed because it's a true raw food of the ocean. It's just a whole food. It's one of the best foods. And so as soon as this solar strip dissolves, you're going to pull in all your essential amino acids, which are your building blocks for protein, your omega-3 and 6 essential fatty acids, which is phenomenal for your neurologic and your cardiovascular system, antioxidants to help with getting rid of free radicals in the body. There's trace minerals, there's vitamins, there's phospholipids. The list just goes on in terms of just helping supporting cell membranes. It's alkaline, which we want our bodies to be alkaline. So these little solar strips you can use once a day, twice a day. And the story behind the marine phytoplankton is pretty impressive. The guy that runs the aquatic sea farm, Tom Harper, he was diagnosed, and this was probably more than a decade ago, with mesothelioma, which is a horrible cancer of the lungs. And basically, if you look in medical literature, it's a death sentence. And he had always noticed that the phytoplankton provided the fish on his sea farm and even the whales out there in the ocean such healthy animals, these healthy fish and the healthy whales and the sea life and all the starfish and everything in Nanaimo is really all because of this whole food of the ocean that feeds all these different fish. So he just started to eat the phytoplankton out of the tanks. These big, big tanks. He creates all the natural environmental conditions to create the blooms of the phytoplankton, and he just started to eat it. And he was scheduled for a procedure to do something that's like a fusion of the lung wall so that you don't drown in the secretions that happen from this type of cancer of the lung. And they get in, they open him up to do this procedure, and honest to goodness, there's this really funky, like, white film all over his lungs. They didn't know what it was, and they just biopsied the heck out of him, and all the biopsies came back negative for the mesothelioma. So he had biopsies documenting it, he had CAT scans documenting it, and then he ate the phytoplankton, and now he doesn't have cancer, and he's still alive and well to this day. So to me, we've got something really special. We can't say we're curing cancer, but you know what? I will take a solar strip every day to just put that raw food in my body because it's just going to help your cells. So I think that was a really cool story. He was in the newspapers up there. He was on TV stations and everything. So it became a very popular story up in that region of the world. But that's where we get our phytoplankton. We have exclusive rights to his sea farm. Nobody else can get this particular phytoplankton that has the shell removed. So just know the bioavailability of that product is wonderful. And the synergy between the power strips and solar strips is awesome because if you're opening up your vascular system, you've got better oxygen flow and blood flow because of this far infrared that does that for the body. when you use a solar strip, it's like pulling that whole food into your body like turbo. You're pulling in all this raw food that's going to just go right to the cells. And that's where we need it because, as a society, we're pretty nutritionally bankrupt, and especially our kids are disastrous when it comes to their nutrition. So just another great product. There's a couple more coming down the road here in a couple of months. I can't really share that yet, but just know the company's always thinking. They're always creating. And so I just want to pass that on so you guys have a little baseline information on those.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, my dear. Well, we're running into dinner. If you have any other questions, just let me know. If not, I'm available tomorrow and Thursday. Friday, I leave for the Carolinas because I'm doing a couple meetings out there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you need me the next 48 hours, I'll be around, okay?
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us and sharing the love.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Okay, you guys.
Awesome.
I'm going to
enjoy your dinner. We'll see you.
Okay, talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Come on in, Street.
So, Mark, are you guys all still here?
Yes, still here.
Okay.
I'm
so
still here.
we can open it up to any other questions that you guys might have that you think that Mark or myself can answer. We don't want to keep it too long, but we'll be here as long as necessary.
I can't think of anything right now. Guys, I talked to Mark earlier.
I always think of questions when I don't have someone on the phone.
I know. It never fails.
Well, the good thing is we're here. Any questions that you have, myself, you can contact me. If you don't have my number, this is Mark Holmes, by the way. You can get my number from Stephanie or whoever shared the call with you. But one thing I want to interject real quick, and then we'll kind of end the call here. I was talking with Stephanie a little bit about what's going on internationally. Chris Thomas, I spoke with him a couple times today. Chris Thomas, he's a little bit of background on him. He's a seven-figure earner in the industry. He's been in the industry since, I think, the late 80s. So this is all he's done. He found FG Express and is building very strong. What we had planned for this week was Chris was going to fly into Florida, because there's so much happening in Florida right now with doctors and, a lot of people in the medical profession that are interested in that area with what we have here. He was supposed to fly into Florida. Ron Williams, actually, he's flying in this week for a Super Saturday, which is going on, I believe, in Sarasota. So there's a lot going on here in the United States, as you well know, out there on the west side also. And what's that? I'm sorry. Okay.
You're good.
Okay. But I spoke with Chris today. He got a call from Ron Williams, and Ron said to Chris, you need to change your schedule. We need you in the Philippines because we're doing the ribbon cutting on our Manila, Philippine office out there. So that's pretty exciting. There's a lot of stuff going on, just not here in the United States, but internationally also. We've got three corporate offices that I know of right now that are open or are opening in Asia, and that's Philippines, Manila, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and one just recently in Singapore. So that's real exciting, and we're going to see more, I'm sure, opening up in different areas strategically. That makes sense. So what we've got going on, for instance, Manila, we've got our corporate office that's opening. Chris is flying over there tomorrow. John Barksdale is already over there. John is also a big part of our team. And these people, too, are people you're going to be connected with. You'll be able to call them. I know some of you are on board already, and some of you are looking at this and still deciding whether it's for you or not, and that's fine. We're just here to help you understand what's going on. But this is a little bit of a snapshot as far as my perspective is what's going on. I like building internationally, and I'm here to help you do the same thing. At the same time, we're also opening our team office on the same floor as the corporate office in Manila. So
sweet.
That's exciting. So we're going to have people, our own team there in Manila. We can contact them. We can work with them direct. And being able to do that, I've been in this industry for quite some time, and I've worked with a lot of different teams. But we've got to, and you can probably understand this from just this short call. We've got a well-versed team. We've got Dr. Becky, who is willing to do these calls, intimate calls, big calls, whatever it is, whatever's needed. Dr. Becky, I know I can call her if somebody has a question that they've got medical terms or whatever. I don't understand all that stuff. All I know is I work direct with Dr. Becky, and she has those answers. Hold on 1 second. I'll introduce you to her. You're going to have the same thing. Everybody on this call is within our team. So the main thing I'm trying to get across everybody is we have a very strong team. We've got Chris Thomas, John Barksdale, Dan Maes also, and we're spread out throughout the world. I know that I can call Chris Thomas if I have somebody in the Philippines that wants to meet at our team office. I can call Chris tomorrow when he gets there or the next day and say, hey, I've got 5 people that want to meet you at the team office. And Chris will be there to meet them. It is, time permitting. So that's kind of a little bit of a snapshot as far as what we've got going on here. Some of you may not have built internationally and don't even know where to start. That's where we can come in, like myself and Stephanie. We can help you do that, build internationally. It's very simple. Nowadays, we've got social media and a lot of different avenues that we can use to connect with people anywhere in the world. The great thing is we're open to 180, 190 countries. So this is wide open, and we're at the very beginning with this. So anything that I can help any of you with, don't hesitate at all to call on me.
Okay, awesome.
And I believe it, too, because I've called you many times, and you're always there, so I appreciate that.
Absolutely,
so,
my pleasure.
If I can't answer anything, then we go to Mark. So that's the cool thing. We've always got a lot of support. And, of course, Dr. Becky, Kathy Humphreys, her husband Todd, I mean, all kinds of people. So we're not alone, that's for sure. So very good. All right, I guess, any other questions?
Oh, thank you, Mark.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Anytime.
And we've got Patty on the call, and Sarah and Lisa. Lisa is already on board. Sarah is coming on soon, and Patty too, and it'll be a lot of fun. We can have our own dream team.
That sounds great.
Anyway. All righty. Well, we can end, but thanks for getting on and taking time out of your night, ladies, and you too, Bill. And we'll talk to you guys all soon.
Okay, very good.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, Mark.
Great. Thank you, Steph.
Bye-bye now.
Good night.
Thanks.